Hey Stitchers. Sorry about the bad lighting. Jeez. Oh my god, and my hair looks terrible. Excuse me. Yesterday, beautiful, sunny. Actually got some natural light coming in. Today it's raining. But you know what? It's rain, not ice. I'll take it. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about some knitting I've been doing, but also give you some cross-stitch updates. I'm going to do the cross-stitch first, so that if any of you just really aren't interested in knitting or in stuff that isn't cross-stitch, you can, after I talk about my cross-stitch whips and stuff, you can just leave, and there will be no hard feelings. Okay. So actually, first, I want to show you something cool. I got my very first needle minders in the mail yesterday, and it's all Coffee Stitcher's fault. Coffee Stitcher mentioned this shop on Etsy called StitchinglyAlong, and they sell needle minders, fobs for your scissors, and froggers. So I went and I looked, and I got myself a couple of needle minders, which I'd never had before. But I'm thinking, you know, if I want to start branching out into non-Aida fabrics, I shouldn't be stabbing those fabrics with my needle when I'm, you know, just kind of tucking it in when I'm done stitching. That's really bad. So I got myself two. One of them is actually on a project. I'm going to take him off. But they're really cool. I'll show you. They came, and I just took it out. They came packaged in these little bags that in Coffee Stitcher's video he showed that too. And then they're also in a plastic bag. Plastic bag inside of this. And they also come on bobbins. They arrive on bobbins. So hey, free bobbin. I don't have any bobbins yet. I'm new at this and need to explore better ways to store my floss. Anyway, I got this adorable little sheepy because I love sheep. Sheep, sheep, sheep. And then couldn't resist. Saw she has some Nightmare Before Christmas stuff there, and so I had to get Jack Skellington. Had to. Didn't mention it in my favorite films yet in yesterday's tag, because it's not, but it probably should be. I watch it at least once a year around Christmas or Halloween time, even though I don't celebrate Christmas. But it's still super fun. Tim Burton, let's be honest, Tim Burton's kind of hit or miss, but Nightmare was definitely one of his hits. So that's cool. StitchinglyAlong on Etsy. I will put her, I think it's a her. I will put that shop information in the description below. One more thing before I show you my whips. As a new stitcher, I am curious about to hear from the more experienced stitchers among you, and you can comment below. I think making a video would be more fun, but it's totally up to you. There's a cat over there. What are your top 5 cross-stitching must-haves? Like if you could go back in time to when you were a newbie stitcher, like what are the top 5 things you think a cross-stitcher should have? I'm really curious. Let me know, either in comments, or I think video form might be more fun, but you know, whatever you want, it's cool. Excuse me. Okay, on to the whips. Water Dragon. I'm actually making more progress with her than I thought I was going to be. I guess I just didn't have as much to do, excuse me, as I thought. And you see, there you go. I've done most of the reflection. I still have actually a big chunk of the reflection to do, but it's all in one color, and it's kind of this kind of boring pale yellow color, and I keep looking at the floss and the pattern and saying, can you please try harder to be a real color? Please. So I'm kind of putting it off a little bit. And I am currently, wrong side, currently working on the trees. Those are almost done. I'm probably going to finish those today and then have to finish up the reflections, and then after that it's just back stitching. Before I tackle the back stitching though, I think I'm going to put her aside for a little while, because I just decided randomly that I'm gonna make cross-stitch Mother's Day cards this year. I only have 3 to send, so that's not too bad, and I bought some cards at Joann's, which is a craft store in the United States. I don't know if you have it. I'm pretty sure it's US only. If anyone has any tips, like I watched a couple of videos and most folks were using double-sided tape, so I'm going to be using double-sided tape. So that's my cat just vomited. I am so sorry. I'm going to deal with that in a minute. Okay, moving along. So that's the water dragon. And now we have our wretched hive of scum and villainy, which is coming along. I've had quite a few of you lovely folks give me suggestions of what I could do with this when it's finished. Right now I'm kind of thinking I might want to make a pillow, even though I haven't sewn in a decade, but it's a handy life skill to have, so I'm probably going to give that a go. So I will share the this row with the floral stuff, this last floral row, is currently in timeout because I was stitching and I realized that I had, for some reason, when I was stitching the leaves, on the section of the leaves under the word scum, somehow they got moved up 1 stitch, and I didn't realize it until I was stitching the flowers, so I had to frog quite a bit, and so that's in timeout. So in the meantime, I'm working on the buildings. It's still fun, still enjoying it, having a good time. So that is it for cross stitch right now. So I'm going to talk about some knitting, and if you would like to stay, great. If you want to go, cool. Have a good day. The thing about knitting versus cross stitching and sharing that is a little different is when you finish a cross stitch project, yeah, you can give it away. If you don't give it away, you're going to keep it around. It's going to be either, you know, if you have a drawer of finished projects that you haven't framed or made into wall hangings or whatnot, they're still around. You know, if you have finished projects that have been, you know, completely finished, they're still around. Knitters, we make stuff that gets used, and we make stuff that gets used up. Like if you're a sock knitter, like I am, you know, I can't show you some of my favorites because A, I've given them away, and B, they're probably gone now, you know, I knit my sister a pair of knee-high stockings with beautiful cable down the leg. I have a feeling that they got thrown in the bin because my sister loves her hand-knit socks so fuzzy huggy much she will literally wear them until the sole is completely gone. What this means is she appreciates them that much she can count on a lifetime supply of hand-knit socks for me. But you see what I'm getting at. Cross-stitch finishes, if you take care of them, you know, you could show me, you know, a finish from 20 years ago and it still looks great. I can't, you know, if I show you a sweater from 20 years ago that was lovingly hand knit, it's not looking so hot. And that's not a bad thing because, you know, if I knit a sweater for someone, I don't want it to be put away in a cedar chest as this precious, precious object, never to be, never to be taken out and worn for fear of it, getting hurt. No, I want you to wear it. That's my time you're holding there. If you do lock it away and don't ever take it out because you're afraid something's going to get spilled on or it's going to snag or what have you, I'm not going to knit for you anymore. So I guess this is a roundabout way of saying I don't have that much to show you right now because A, I don't have that much on my needles right now, and B, all my finishes are in use. And they're not necessarily in my house. Also, it's springtime. My partner went on a little, finally, binge and threw all of our woolies into a box with some cedar balls and packed it back in the closet, just like, I'm not going to look at you until it's cold. So, that's the situation. But I have a couple of things to show you anyway. So, my local yarn store is having a little contest. The owner kind of billed it as, we all have unfinished objects lying around in drawers, that we complain about. It's time to stop complaining and finish the damn things. So it's a 4-month-long contest. So the goal is you finish 4 unfinished projects. Any project you have in your stash. Great. And it's cool, every month she's going to have a drawing for a gift card. If we complete that month, bring the knitted thing into the shop and verify that, yeah, this is what we said we signed up to do. And at the end of the 4 months, the folks who finished all 4 months get entered into a larger drawing. So it's just kind of a nice, fun thing, and it's a nice way to sort of build a relationship with your local yarn shop. So the first unfinished project, it's almost done, that I said that I was going to do was this baby sweater. Who's it for? I don't know, but I'm not worried because I'm a doula. I occasionally run into a baby. I'm working on the button bands right now, so it's got a needle hanging off of it. This is the Garter Yoke Baby Cardi. I believe it's a free pattern. I will put the Etsy link, not the Etsy link, the Ravelry link to it below. And that's the back of it. I'm knitting it on 3.5 millimeter needles, and I'm using Malabrigo, which is lovely yarn. Malabrigo Arroyo, which is their sport weight, and I'm using the shade Lotus. I need to wind this. It was one of those annoying things where I literally ran out of yarn when I'm on the very last button band. It's like, damn it. But, this will get, I can make a baby hat and some booties with the rest of this. No harm, no foul. And it's lovely to knit with. It's so soft. I believe it's superwash. Yes, superwash merino wool, because only sadists give parents of new babies things that need to be hand washed. So, colorway is Lotus, and it's not really showing up very well, but it's got a nice deep purple and some blues. It's really nice. I like it. So, Garter Yoke Baby Cardi. It's free. Who made this? I have it pulled up on Ravelry right now. Designer is Jennifer Hoel. H-O-E-L. How do you pronounce that? Hoel? Either way. So, that's going to be finished. Once I wind the yarn, that's going to be finished within an evening. And then I just have to block it and take it and find some buttons. What I have going for next month is I have to finish a pair of socks I started. And this one's going to be a little trickier because I only have about a quarter of one sock done of a full pair. So that's going to be a little trickier. And this pattern is from the spring 2010 issue of Interweave Knits magazine. The pattern is called Wasabi Peas. And instead of ribbing, it has a cool hem. I like hems. I really like knitted hems. It's not quite as cool as a peacoat hem, but it still looks pretty snappy. And standard heel flap. I'm actually using the yarn that was called for in the pattern. I never ever do that. The yarn and the colorway that was called for in the pattern. I don't know what I was thinking. So Wasabi Peas, Amy Palmer is the designer. Shibui Knits sock yarn in the colorway Wasabi. Knit on 2.75 millimeter needles. That's a US 2, for those who don't know. Yeah. So that next month will be a little more of a mad scramble to get that done. On the other hand, this was a pretty quick knit, so you never know. It might surprise me and finish up a little faster. Okay, that is all I have for you lovely folks today, and I will see you all next week. I have to go clean up cat puke now. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Thanks so much for subscribing and for commenting. I really, really appreciate it. And have a great rest of your Tuesday, and have a great week.